Hey guys, it's churches, graveyards and graves, and I am still at St James in Barton-under in Edewood. I just wanted to show you a few of these graves. Now I have to say they're probably not my favourite style of graves, but they do represent an era and a certain place. So I'm going to turn this around and let you have a little look, because there's a lovely little array of this style of graves from this period, so in this churchyard basically. So I'm going to turn it around and let you have a look at them, and so you can see for yourself. I mean, I like the old ones, the really old ones, and the slate ones with the amazing carvings, the mortality carvings. Just more like my style, but these, you know, they're still quite interesting. So I'm going to turn this around and let you have a look. So we were looking at the corbels earlier on the church and saying that the Victorians really like foliage, and they took that, the plants and the flowers, and they took that into their grave work as well. And this is a typical example of it. I'm not so keen on this sort of stone, this sort of sandstone. It doesn't last as well, and they tended to put like slate inlays on them. So you can see that on the back, on the front of this one here. But you can see that again they had this foliage, and all these flowers meant something as well. So the only thing is, I'm not really an expert on the flowers and which each one means. I know what some of them mean, but you can see that this is a distinct flower, and they did mean certain things, and it's surrounded by a sun. And most of these graves are from the late 19th century. So this is 1892. And you can see this one here is 1890, and again it's got foliage at the top, some sort of flower. And this one at the back is probably a better example, again from 1890. So you can see how typical this sort of grave style was, and you can see the inlay of the slate on a different sort of conglomerate stone. And again these flowers, so these roses were meant as a, you know, they generally showed eternity and love and that sort of thing. And it's also surrounded by, it looks like lilies. Lilies are a very, very common flower to show about mourning and grief. And we've also got these crosses, and you really only see crosses when you get into the Victorian period, because pre that you wouldn't have got crosses, because the Victorians lightened up a bit on the cross situation. Prior to that, near the Reformation, they wouldn't have crosses on any graves, because they think it was to do with the papacy or Catholicism. So a lot of these graves have got some sort of ivy on that one, some sort of foliage on them. But this one's a little different, and I'll just show you this. And this is a nice example. Again, this is even later, this is 1910. And again, typically it's got these wonderful flowers, this sort of foliage, but it's also got this hand. Now these hands generally like this, where you can see on one side is like a female hand, and on the other side we have a male hand. And like, can you see that wonderful knot, like tying them together in like a big bow? And that's like, obviously, you know, a man and wife, and you see that in this wonderful grave. So we've got Stephen Atkins of Barton Gate, age 60, until the daybreak and the shadows flee away. And then you've got his wife Rosa, who departed this life at 1910, 63, he gives his beloved sleep. And that just shows their wonderful union, and like the eternal knot there, and that now they are like together for eternity. A beautiful symbolism of you know, the love that obviously this couple had. Enjoyed just seeing those few graves. This particular graveyard is just full of this style of graves, and everywhere you go you get different styles of graves. I'm being bit to death here. That's the trouble with a good day, isn't it? You know, you're either cold or be a bit to death. So anyway, if you like my oh dear, I have to laugh at myself. Oh gosh. Well, that's the trouble with these yew trees, you know, you get a lot of midges. But anyway, if you've liked this video, please like and share, and I'm on Buy Me a Coffee as well, and just go and explore these beautiful churches. So from churches, graveyards and graves, from Barton under Needwood, see you soon.